Welcome to Pathways to Success, a program that supports micro, small, and medium enterprises here on the Bilyonaryo News Channel. I'm Mai Rodriguez. Filipino cuisine is renowned for its bold flavors and rich traditions, a blend of indigenous, Spanish, American, and Asian influences. The exciting and ever-changing culinary world is also the playground of some of the best Filipino chefs who are making their mark in the kitchens around the globe. Now, our guest today is a standout in the food industry. We are thrilled to speak with Chef Kalel Chan, the corporate chef for the Raintree Restaurant Group. Hi, Chef Kalel.
Hi, Mai. Thank you for having me.
Welcome. So, Chef, almost 2 decades in the industry.
Yes, the food industry.
Yes.
Yeah.
Have you always wanted to become a chef?
No. So it wasn't part of my dream. Probably siguro yung pathway just led me here. To the,
Tell us that story. How?
Well, I studied in Benil, CSB, so I took up HRIM. So it's a 3 years and 1 term course. So our course there we're called general because everything was there. There's a culinary side, there's a management side, and then after graduating, I was lost. I was lost. I didn't know what to do, and then I tried to apply hotels. And then someone got me for a guest services agent. And I worked there for 9 days.
Only 9 days?
Only 9 days.
In the hotel? What did you do?
In a hotel. I was in the reservations.
Okay.
So I was sitting there, looking at the computer. So this is not me. This is not me. This is really slow. The space is really slow. And then, good thing, I quit now 9 days, and then I found my way inside the kitchen. And then,
how did the universe lead you to the kitchen?
so one of my best friend worked for Chef Sao del Rosario. This was in M Cafe. And then my friend said, "There's an opening here." Okay, so I'll try. So first day, I smelled the kitchen. I smelled the oven, roasting. So I think this is me. So I felt the pressure, and I loved it. You know, I loved the pressure. So yun, so it was history.
Seeing the backstage of the kitchen for the first time, how did it compare to your expectations?
Of course, parang that time wala pang mga movies or series regarding sa kitchen. So yeah, so I was placed in a cool kitchen, and then I really loved it. I loved the camaraderie. There was like a brotherhood inside the kitchen. We love to play jokes around, you know. And then I was moved to the hot kitchen, and then sabi ko, wow, sabi ko, it's like ecstasy.
You felt at home there.
I felt at home there. Yung creative side mo lumabas. Parang there's a button na nag-turn on. And then yun na, yeah.
Okay, so your first mentor was Chef Sao.
Yes.
So what was the most memorable learning from him?
Well, he told me, I remember this, he told me, you know what, hindi na kita tuturo magluto. Marunong ka na magluto eh. But I'll teach you how to think. So yon. So whatever I do, meron lagi, it has to be a little different.
He gave you independence?
Independence, yes. In creating dishes. Being artistic sa tawag ko sa dishes. Yon.
So what were you like starting as a chef? Do you still remember how you were like back then?
Well, I was really playful, well, until now. I love to go out with mga chefs na kasama. We always go out, explore restaurants, gano'n. And then, of course, siyempre camaraderie, kasama rin yung drinking with them. So you really form a special bond with your teammates.
And you mentioned off-cam earlier, 150 chefs under the Raintree Group.
Yes, approximately.
Yeah.
Approximately around
Wow,
150.
That's so huge.
Yes.
Now, serving as a longtime corporate chef of the Raintree Group, how do you handle them? You know, of course, there's a challenge of being at multiple restaurants all at the same time. How do you do it?
Well, both restaurants in Raintree has different kinds of concepts. So you really have to maneuver your brain. Sometimes when you're in Tagaytay, you have to parang may sense of place.
Because you have 2 in Tagaytay.
We have 2 in Tagaytay. Whenever in Manila, you have to feel the environment. Ano yung magfe-fit doon na mga dishes? Ano yung magfe-fit na service? Yun. That's how you, kailangan may compartmentalize yung brain mo.
Tell us about the restaurants that you manage. The two in Tagaytay, the 6 in BGC.
Yes. So we have Farmer's Table in Tagaytay, which we opened during pandemic. And then we have My Country House. It's next to Farmer's Table. And then in BGC, in Serendra, we have Jones All Day. And right across, it's called Saboten. So we have 3 branches, one in Serendra, one in SM Ora, and one in Mitsukoshi. And then down the street, it's called Friends and Family. It's a Filipino restaurant.
Okay.
And then we have a bar called Coconut Club. And then in Netlima, we have Chotomate. It's another bar. And in Boracay, which is 3 days ago, I was just there, Chacha's Beach Cafe. And we manage a hotel called Coast.
Oh, okay. The hotel in Coast.
Yes.
The Coast Hotel.
Yeah. And then
in
the restaurant.
in Coast.
Yes, in Coast.
Okay.
So we have a restaurant there. It's called Chacha's Beach Cafe.
Oh, okay. So, and you just opened your very own restaurant.
Yes, I have a
Tell us all
personal
about
business
that.
with partners. So I just opened just recently, last month. It's located in San Juan. The name is Lobby 385. It's a steak concept restaurant.
Because Filipinos love steak.
Filipinos love meat.
Meat eaters.
Anything
yes.
grilled also in a charcoal.
Okay, congrats on
Thank
your new
you. Thank you,
restaurant.
Mai.
So, with your restaurants offering a variety of cuisines, of course, from Asian to Western, how do you keep each concept fresh while still aligned to your overall vision?
Of course, you have to have a sense of place. Like for example, you're in a Tagaytay. Of course, there's always fresh vegetables there. You have to be inspired with your environment. Yun, you start from there. And then, of course, you have to think of laging new ideas. New ideas na what fits the market.
And it also begins with the produce, no?
In the produce
Like you said.
also. Like for example, opening something in Baler before. So I had to go around the market. I had to go to mga house ng mga fishermen, what's available there. So you work with the ingredients of that certain province or whatever. So it starts from there. And then you build the menu. Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about Raintree, which focuses on 3 main areas, the hospitality, the restaurants, and also the food parks.
Yes.
Tell us about each one and how do they complement each other?
So we have Raintree Hospitality. So we manage hotels. So we before Raintree was managing Discovery, and then we were managing Costa Pacifica in Baler before, and then now we're managing Coast in Boracay. And then the restaurant side is what I mentioned a while ago, the 6 restaurants in BGC, 2 restaurants in Tagaytay and in Boracay. So that's the restaurant side. So we have another one, we manage food courts.
Yes.
So for example, a building, so we manage the whole area, so food courts. So that's the 3 branches of Raintree.
Okay, so operating in Boracay and also in BGC. Of course, there are different challenges, no, pag tourist spot and also urban area.
Yes.
So tell us about the challenges in managing those properties.
Yeah, so sometimes you really have to think about the market. Like for example, in Boracay, so I stayed there for like a month, just studying the market. So just imagining you're a tourist. When you go to one place, you have to imagine that you're the guest. You're a tourist. And then it starts there na, for example, Europeans go to your place, of course they want to try Filipino food. So you have to put a few items of Filipino food. And then the next day, of course, they're gonna eat what they know.
They kind of miss home.
They kind of miss home.
Yeah, oh.
First is parang Southeast Asian, like the pad thai, whatever, that they know that.
Yeah.
Tapos babalik sila sa
So what they know.
hummus nila,
Yeah.
sa burgers nila. So that's how we formulate our menus based on the place, based on the market.
Yeah. So with your presence, both in hotels and restaurants, how do you now cross-promote your services so that your guests, to enhance the guest engagement?
Engagement, okay. So within, for example, in Boracay, within our restaurant, of course, we promote also our restaurants outside of Metro Manila. So at least our guest has different kinds of options. So we have Japanese, we have Western, we have Filipino food. So that's how we cross-promote our restaurants.
Because guests want variety, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. We have to take a short break. When we return, we will explore how Chef Kalel masterfully navigates the culinary landscape, from embracing the latest trends to elevating Filipino cuisine on the global stage. Stay with us here on Pathways to Success. Welcome back to Pathways to Success. We're still with Chef Kalel of the Raintree Restaurant Group. He's a seasoned professional in the culinary world. Now, Chef, with your experience, how have your views on trends and customer expectations evolved?
Well, you see all these trends, of course, in like social media, TikTok, Instagram. Sometimes when it's very trendy, I move away from that. Because there's a certain expiration month. For example, uso to ngayon, next month, iba na yan. So I try to stick with the classics, with a little mga twist in every dishes. So that's
so you
how
focus on the classics, but then how do you elevate each dish?
You elevate, for example, for a some simple pinakbet. No? What I don't like about that is, of course, overcooked vegetables. Right? It's always like that. So
Becomes mushy.
It becomes mushy. So what I do is, I blanch everything and stir fry. So lahat ng mga vegetables is like crispy pa and very green. And then I think what's lacking in Filipino flavors is also mga herbs. So you put basil, you put different kinds of herbs of Filipino just to elevate those dishes.
Yeah, iba yung nagagawa ng mga herbs.
Yes,
Yeah.
it adds freshness.
So tell us about your team. How important is your team to your success as a corporate chef?
My team is my lifeline. So I deal with them every day. Thank you sa technology. It's a both blessing and a curse. Also technology. So we have so many groups in chat groups. So ayun, I manage them through messaging. And then, for example, a month ako hindi makakapunta ng Boracay. So, with video call, tapos pinapakita sa akin yung mga what's happening inside the kitchen. So, that's how I manage. I rely on them heavily.
Yeah.
Because sila nga yung lifeline ng restaurant.
And there are workarounds naman, no?
Yes.
Yeah. But how do you maintain, a positive and effective work environment?
Of course, you have to be like nice to them, no? Balance. It's both balance, may konting slap sa hand, but you have to be parang friends with them. Para that at that level of parang friendship, you build those trust.
Kasi there's a concept na yung pag-kitchen, chaotic,
Well, it happens.
misconception. It happens.
It happens.
That's true.
There are times na parang I think it's what do you call this? You have to go through that in order for the operation to be nice.
And then eventually you'll get the flow,
You
right?
get the flow. Nakita ko na yan, so many restaurants that I opened, there's always that like init ulo and then okay lahat.
Okay, tell us about your work with big brands, as an ambassador. Have these partnerships influenced your cooking, and also how have these opened up new doors for you?
Of course, may mga brands, of course, na lumapit. And then, I work with the brands. Of course, it opens up also yung creativity. Creativity. And then, of course, other brands sees that. So, they wanna tap me also because I don't do yung mga normal stuff. So, there's always an elevation sa mga dishes.
Okay. How do you now put a spotlight on Filipino cuisine being part of prestigious events?
Well, Filipino cuisine is always naman very good. Sometimes, kasi, we have mga tourists kasi na pinipilit mo, here's the balut, ganyan. So, of course, parang fear factor agad na sa kanila. So, if you present it differently, like tinuguan, adobo, if you present it nicely, and then, of course, they will try it. Hindi yung isa-shove mo agad sa sa face nila, no?
Yeah.
You try this, you try this,
Maybe
you try
put
this.
it in a sizzling plate.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
present it
okay.
very, very nicely. But I think that's happening now. There's so many creative chefs out there, mga young chefs also, who does that, mga ganong klaseng style.
Okay, having been part of prestigious events on the global stage, what were your most unforgettable moments?
I think just recently, a few weeks back, it was a food and wine in Cebu. So in order for me to start my creativity brain, I have to have a certain concept. So what I did in Cebu was, tuslo buwa. So you eat that in the streets, no? It's
Okay.
pig's brain, and then you share a same kawali with strangers. So what I did was tuslo buwa, but it's crab. So it's a what I call it. It's served on a crab head shell. So crab brain, I put uni, I put caviar. So in-elevate ko yung dish na yon.
That sounds so good, huh?
Yes, oo.
Okay. Okay, let's talk about, again, we touched on trends earlier, but you said you preferred to stick to the classics,
Yeah.
no? But is there a pull from the many chefs that you manage to also deviate and also maybe try something on their own?
Oh yes, there's freedom, but at the end I have to approve it because also in the kitchen hindi rin pwedeng too much freedom. Yeah, so you have to have a certain standard that they can't go out of that standard. So it also has to be approved by me and mga partners ng Raintree.
Yeah. Okay, we have to take another short break, Chef, but don't go anywhere. When we return, we'll discuss the pressures of a culinary career with Chef Kalel. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Pathways to Success. There's a saying that if you can't handle the heat, get out of the kitchen. How challenging is it to pursue a culinary career? Let's ask Chef Kalel of Raintree Restaurant Group. So, Chef, let's talk about the pressures of being a chef, no? So, a study showed that chefs often work 50 to 60 hours a week, and according to a 2020 study from Frontiers in Public Health, sometimes as much as 66 hours.
That is true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how do you handle the demands of a kitchen?
Yeah. So tama yun. Parang if you can't handle the heat, just get out of the kitchen. There are maraming young kids today. They discover that parang first day pa lang sa loob ng kitchen. And then there's trauma. There's trauma. Because the kitchen, it's like a pressure cooker inside the kitchen. Of course, you have to deal with speed, quality, of course, yung
Precision.
standards. Yeah, precision ng mga
yeah.
dishes. Of course, pag wala kang standard na ganun, if it's not your passion also, maybe that's not for you. So sabi ko nga, I just was talking to a young chef. Sabi ko, you have to make this as your lifestyle. So in order for you to enjoy this, what you're doing, you have to make your career a lifestyle.
You also have to love what you're doing.
Yes,
no?
yes.
Like you found that you belong.
I belong,
in the
yes,
kitchen.
yeah.
Okay, so you're talking about accidents
Yes.
prior to you sitting here. Okay, so major accidents in the kitchen, I hope we can avoid that. So how do you, in your kitchen, how do you avoid the accidents and maintain, one's health?
Accident, it happens daily. It happens daily. Of course.
How unfortunate.
Carelessness, and then you're in a hurry. Every time you're in a hurry. So accidents really happen. Like what happened to me before, nag-spill over yung oil sa whole arm ko. So I had to be brought to the hospital.
That's something major.
Yes, but sabi ko, you learn from that. And then you move on and you become careful. Everything naman sa learning inside the kitchen, yeah.
Okay, so of course, eating a kitchen comes with, emotional challenges as well, like staff conflicts, also the high expectations from your customers. So how do you manage such pressures?
I always say 30% is the actual work. 70% in the kitchen is dealing with dramas. Of course, 70% you have your staff there. They all have their own personal issues also. So you have to take it day by day. Kasi parang for me before, I would want to plan it talaga as in like 1 year plan. Pero right now, sometimes I take it day by day in order for me to be less stressed. Yeah.
I guess that's how you survive, no?
Yes.
Take it day by day.
Take it day by day.
Also, with so many new restaurants opening, how does your staff help maintain and enhance the reputation of all your existing establishments?
Yes. I have I call it chef's meeting, Friday chef's meeting. So that's all. We all gather around in one restaurant and we talk about everything. So that's how I get my reports inside the kitchen. And then, of course, asking them how are they doing inside the kitchen, what help do they need, yon. And then Monday naman, I report it to the Mancom naman. So yeah, I think that's my cycle. That's my cycle in handling things.
Also, your emotional well-being of your chefs, also of your staff.
Yes, yes, that's also very,
Yeah.
very important. So that's why in the chef's meeting, we all eat together like family. Yon. So yon, it forms a certain bond.
Yeah, you
and our
maintain
bond is
that
food.
bond.
Yes.
Okay, it should feel like family as
Yes,
well,
yes.
right? So, okay, your story is so inspiring from becoming a reluctant chef to a passionate one. So, tell us, give us some advice to those who are, maybe haven't found their passion or they're hesitant to pursue their career. What advice can you give them?
Well, like me, I was lost before. I think 3 years I was finding my own pathway. Parang if you go into one field and then you don't feel it now on the first day pa lang, maybe that's not for you. So look for something else, and then you will instantly feel it naman in your nerves na parang, wow, I think this is me. So that's what happened to me. So you just have to try every path na people will tawag ito, learn na parang, oh, this career is for me.
Okay, so any exciting new concepts in the works? Tell us about that.
I'm just focusing right now with Raintree and then my new restaurant that opened in San Juan. So we're just building the market in San Juan, and then let's see how it goes.
Congrats on the new resto
Thank you.
again, and
Thank
more
you.
power to you, Chef Kalel.
Thank you, Mai.
you for joining us here in the studio and for sharing your inspiring story.
Thank you.
So to all the entrepreneurs pursuing their goals, just keep your passion alive and stay determined. Remember, the more you learn, the more you earn. Thank you for watching.